Alright, 110 cap slaps because it's easier than ever to get geared and get the gear you want. We got things like pity boxes, weekly missions, daily missions, alt funneling, Elven Guard, advanced dungeons. Honestly, the list goes on. There's probably systems out there I don't even know about yet. But in this video, I want to talk about ways to get level 110 epics and some strategies I've been using to gear up my mains and alts. Let me just preface this with a small disclaimer. Ultimately, this gearing process is based on top of RNG. So don't start feeling some type of way when you're not fully 12 out of 12 in half an FP bar. It's gonna take some time. I would say maximum 6 weeks to get all your desired pieces, worst case scenario. But honestly, it'll take more like 2 weeks. I would say even a few days if you maximize all systems I'll talk about in this video. That being said, a few weeks to get all your pieces is such a nice feeling compared to the old caps, which took months minimum. Okay, let's begin. I'll be talking about the different methods and strategies in what I deemed is the highest priority order. Highest priority starting off with your daily missions. This is the main thing I try to do every day because this is the most time efficient way to progress in gearing. You get a set of 4 missions that scale with your character's fame score. 3 of the missions you can reroll. My advice is to reroll missions so you can complete them in conjunction with your limited mission. Try to get missions that give maximum rewards, so if you get missions like type in chat or dismantle, I would recommend you reroll those because they only give you 1 box and less materials. Ideally, you want to aim for easy missions with maximum rewards, like clear optimal level dungeons or a dungeon you know your character is going to target farm. Your daily missions can be accessed from the notebook icon in the bottom right corner. Once completed, you could claim your missions for the rewards, which consist of tradable and untradeable ominous crystals, daily mission clear boxes, golden barrels, and a daily mission pot. The main reason you're doing your dailies is for the ominous crystals and the clear boxes, which can roll epics to help you 12 out of 12 quicker. When you eventually get to higher fame, these clear boxes are replaced with boxes that give better materials to upgrade your gear. Generally, you can expect a little over 100 ominous crystals per character with 3 epics just from running your dailies. It takes me on average 50 minutes to complete my dailies per character. This is something I try to run every day. But if you can't run this every day, no worries. There's a pity system that can stack up to 4 days of missed dailies. Depending on how many alts you're playing, I would even say let the pity stack. But I'll talk more about that later on with a 4 strategy I'm starting to do. Second priority being your weekly missions. You can also find this in the same notebook icon. It's on the second tab. This is huge and pretty easy to do. Just play a bit every day, do your dailies, and clear 2 raids and 1 advanced dungeons, and you're done. I personally just run through squad modes Sirocco on 2 characters to get the raid clears. It takes about 10 minutes, but the main reason you're doing the weekly is for the epic selection box, or what I like to call them the pity boxes. Basically, it allows you to select any epic you want, besides custom epics and advanced dungeon rare epics. Third main priority being pity boxes. There are 3 main sources of pity boxes. First one being your weekly missions. Second being the adventure shop where you can buy them for 900 adventure tokens. Final and possibly the best way is the level 110 NPC shops. They sell a pity box for 1,527 ominous crystals. If you're actively playing a character, you can expect to afford a pity box from the NPC shops once a week. Even faster if you're funneling or trading ominous crystals to 1 character. One thing to note, I would hold the pity boxes to fill in the gear slots you need at the tail end of your 12 out of 12 journey. Do your normals and advanced dungeons regularly, you're bound to get some pieces you need from natural RNG drops. Next priority in getting epics is Elven Guard. This method is pretty simple. I made a video on Elven Guard that goes more into details. I'll link it here so you can go watch it if needed. But in terms of 12 out of 12ing, there's 5 epic pots you can use to buy at the Elven Guard NPC for 1700 leaf coins. It takes about 2 runs to farm that, so 2 weeks because Elven Guard is a weekly dungeon. There's also a monthly 105 growing weapon you can buy there, and there's also a ticket that turns the growing weapon into a 105 epic aspect devoured weapon. Easy resource for a weapon. Personally though, I keep it for an alt I plan on leveling or not playing much, because weapons drop rates are increased for your class. I basically have all my weapons on all my characters through normal playing. It's never really an issue for me. Hopefully RNG doesn't screw you guys over. Next being dungeon target farm, your normal dungeon. This is your I did my dailies and I have leftover FP method. Basically it's hell mode, but you choose the pool of epics you want to farm. I highly recommend you make use of that equipment navigator to register and track the epics you want. It'll tell you what pieces you need and have. It'll also keep track of the dungeons that drop the pieces you need. I refer to the navigator constantly, especially now that I'm starting to juggle 16 characters with wonky builds. I'm not an MP drain cuck that puts it on all my alts. I want to play with the new epics effects. This is the whole reason I'm enjoying 110 so much. Or it could be copium. I don't know. Whichever works. Now the final method is advanced dungeons. Destroyed Castle of Dead and Noblest Code are the two current advanced dungeons we have. I don't recommend you start doing them until you're around 18,000 fame minimum. Otherwise, it'll be a struggle. One exception being Noblest Code. If you have a character that can carry, it's perfectly fine to throw some trash ults in your squad to start gearing them. Advanced dungeons is a great way of getting epics. It's also the main way of getting culmination weapons and custom epics. If you have tickets after finishing your dailies, advanced dungeon grinding is the play, if you are strong enough. The amount of epics that drops is insane. You're basically guaranteed one per run minimum, and they're usually high option levels relative to the difficulty. Alright, this guide is really long already to my standard, but I want to talk a bit about the strategy I've been doing. I haven't heard anyone talk about this yet, so I'm assuming it's not that known, but I'll call it the set of 4 strategies. At 110 cap, at least currently, there's a lot of things that are done in 4s, mainly Noblest Code and Daily Pities. Noblest Code, you can run that dungeon in squad mode where you can select 4 characters from your account. Only the characters you start the dungeon on gets FP taken out of and the ticket used on. So a good way of farming would be gear up 4 characters to 17,000 fame and farm Noblest Code on those 4 characters after your dailies. Post dailies, you will have around 2 entries worth of FP on non-Neo premium accounts. So you would stack Noblest Code tickets across the 4 characters and essentially rotate the characters, but use the same set of 4 to do multiple Noblest Codes. In my case, I'm doing upwards of 8 Noblest Codes per day. This is a very time efficient way of gearing 4 characters at once. But that's not it, I take it one step further and I'm starting to gear 16 characters, 4 sets of 4 characters. Reason being to maximize my daily pity usage. Daily pity stacks up to 4 days, so I rotate the set of characters I play daily. I have 4 sets of characters because you can redeem 3 pity missions at once, 4 sets of characters being the most optimal rotation. You know, I know this sounds so degen, I hate how it sounds, but let me explain myself. I only really have about an hour or so nowadays to play, and there's no real reason to be rushing to gear up, and I'm an altaholic. I love playing multiple characters. This strategy maximizes my time usage IRL to the rewards I get in-game and allows me to play multiple characters. Realistically, I just do dailies on 1 set a day, and if I have more time, I farm the advanced and normal dungeons. Yeah, it's a little degen, but what do you expect from me? I've been playing DFO since Nexon days. My brain is rotten at this point. I do recommend you give this method a try if you enjoy playing a lot of characters. You can even scale it down to run 1 set of 4 characters. That was my original plan, but I'm basically already 12 out of 12 in my first set, and I've been super casual. Anyways, thanks for watching guys. I hope this helps some of you with epic acquisition in 110 cap. If you want to see more weekly ARPG content from me, Chewy the Goon, drop a like and a sub. It'll help me a ton with this YouTube algorithm stuff. Bye bye for now.